A Manitowoc woman pleaded not guilty to charges that she shot her boyfriend through a closed bathroom door while her two young children were in the home. Julia Gunt entered the pleas in court today following an incident earlier this month at a trailer on Johnston Drive. According to the criminal complaint, the victim called 911 after being shot through both legs. Police say Gunt was extremely intoxicated and had been arguing with the victim about her using the live feature on TikTok. Investigators found two children ages 5 and 6 in a nearby bedroom at the time of the shooting. Gunt is scheduled to be back in court on March 30th.